Hi guys, it's Ray here from City Fan TV. Hope you guys are well. It's Thursday at 8:30 in the UK. Come on a bit early tonight. I've got some stuff I want to do after Netflix, so I thought nip on, do a 10 or 15 minute live stream, then get on with what I need to do today. So what are we going to be talking about today? Whatever you guys want to talk, whoever comes on, basically, whatever they want to talk about. A couple of things that we can chat about. And hi, Danny Tuemi. Hope you're well, buddy. We can talk a little bit about the UEFA or City's court case in the court. Well, it's not actual court in a legal sense, I think, but it's a court of arbitration for sport. We can talk about that. I think we mentioned it yesterday or the day before. And we can also talk about the main thing that I put on for today is the story in the newspaper. Basically, a made-up story. It just shows you where people are coming from. We can talk about. Let's not talk about some of the journalists that have been after City for years. That's about it. That's on my agenda. As I say, it's always up to you guys to come up with talking points. Tell me what you want to talk about, and we'll consider them. We'll see if we can squeeze other topics in as well. Here for you guys. I'm just going to stick a couple of tweets out there to let people know that we're around. And oops, I can't spell. I spelled something really badly. So let's just tie that up and we'll get cracking. See who else is on board with us, Danny, and go through any bits and pieces of transfer news or whatever that the MEN have got for us. Hi, Chris. Doesn't matter, mate. Yes, I did a short stream yesterday. I've been not feeling great actually this last few days. I've got banging headache today. So I've not done any cycling. I don't think I'm going to do any cycling until maybe Saturday or Monday. It's a weird thing. My legs, I did one of the best sessions I'd done in terms of time-wise and getting through it wise and feeling all right. And then I felt really bad for a few days. Hi, Mark. Hope you're well. Right, mate. No, everybody's busy, got things to do, so it's the way it is, isn't it? Let's have a look at what's out there to talk about. I'll have a quick, EFL. I've not really, we talked about that a few days ago. The League Two have gone and their season's gone, it's finished, and there was all obviously some uncertainty. We didn't know what was going to happen with the Championship and League One. Okay, and obviously you'd think it has a knock-on effect as the higher leagues get cancelled. You'd think that knock-on effect might work its way to the Premier League. It doesn't look like that. But apparently the English Football League have announced that promotion and relegation will stand in all divisions, even if clubs vote to basically stop the season short. League Two, they'd already said we're not going to finish the games. League One, they're still split over whether to finish or not. Now, it's going to cost them an absolute arm and a leg, and I think that's one of the reasons for it. You've got to remember these clubs are not getting gate receipts, so where they're going to get the money from? TV money. And that's about it. And the TV deal is not worth their while playing these games. And if they're, everybody's going to have to cough up for the everyone's going to have to cough up for the testing and the protocols and everything else. Was it the Accrington owner? He said, just give us the money that you're going to spend on that you set aside for testing and everything else. Just give the clubs the money so that we can survive. There's some opposition. I'm just reading the Championship expected to round up and finish season in full. Opposition from Hull. There's complained about it, but Hull, are they near the bottom? I think that might have something to do with it. But anyway, the EFL have officially confirmed that all tables will be settled on a points per game ratio, which gets Leeds and West Brom promoted. if the season is curtailed, if it's not finished, whilst the playoffs will still be used to decide the third promoted team. It's basically what I said. They should have the top two get promoted, and then the third place would be from the next four. I said also that you will get some clubs, I'm sure, will take them to court or want some financial compensation. Seventh in the league. We're 1 point behind the team that's sixth, or even goal difference, or whatever it could be. We've missed that opportunity. One game could have got us there. I understand where they're coming from, and I can understand them saying to the Championship, to the EFL, you give us some money, we'll go away quietly. If you're in 8th, 9th place, and they offer you 5 million, maybe you'll go away quietly. So anyway, I quickly read that statement from the EFL. Said today, the EFL board met yesterday to consider the feedback and subsequent implications of last week's divisional club meetings as the league continues to address the many complex financial and operational matters resulting out of the COVID-19 crisis, including how the 2019-20 campaign is concluded. Yep, absolutely, Danny. There's going to be relegation. Imo, hope you're well. Now we were quiet last night because we only had a short one, and when Cam, the Liverpool fan, was on Tuesday, that was quiet as well. So that went without any incident. Let's just quickly finish this stuff from EFL. The various proposals and counter proposals received from clubs have been reviewed, and as a result, the board has finalised the draft framework that would be adopted into EFL regulations in the event that a division is to make the decision to curtail its season, as League Two indicated last Friday. Clubs are now required to give the matter further consideration before the board formally proposes the appropriate regulation changes, which will then be voted on by all clubs. And you can go look at that. There's a lot to read, so I'm not going to go through any more. But basically, they're saying, if the season is curtailed, this is how we're going to do it. Leeds, so by the looks of it, Leeds, West Brom promoted, next four into playoffs. That's kind of what we're really interested in. There's still going to be relegation. What's helped them with the EFL, with the Division 2 at least, is the fact that Bury are not in existence anymore, so nobody needs to get relegated from League 2, and a club can still come up from the National League. Danny, what's your opinion on UEFA? Do you think they will let City play in the Champions League because of the money they have lost in the coronavirus and the money? I don't think so. I don't think so. Whatever they're doing, they're doing it. Let me just. Anyway, so. The thing is, UEFA have been pressured by the other clubs to make these decisions, so that's what they're pushed by them. It's not just a UEFA thing, so it's pushed by them, and we'll just let it. We'll see what happens. But UEFA are not going to go for the money aspect. City, although we will, what we're going to attract to it really, TV, people watching on TV. That's it, because there's not going to be anything through the gate and all that. So if they lose City, I don't think for them it's not such a big deal, honestly. I mean, people miss out on seeing Kevin De Bruyne and Aguero, but that's it. If we had, for instance, a team with 5 or 6 world superstars, if we had Messi in our team, if we had a couple of other world superstars like KDB, Aguero, and 2 others, then yes, I can see the bigger draw of having City there. But I don't think they're going to miss this. Chris, Stevenage will feel relegation is harsh as they are 3 points away from safety. Yeah, so, as I said before, some clubs, look, I'm sure if they said to Stevenage, we'll give you £2 million, go away quietly. I think Stevenage would probably go away quietly because that would really, really sort them out financially, I suspect. Danny, these trolls, absolutely, mate. Absolutely. And, well, let's just hope karma will bite them back in the backside when someone knocks on their door. City back in training. I think they started earlier this week. Was it Tuesday, Monday, Tuesday? If you've seen the pictures of Pep, pictures of Pep. I did a thing yesterday. I said Pep's looking chunkier. It's a polite way of saying he's put on a few pounds, and he's not cut his hair either. So Pep's looking a bit raggedy. Pep's looking a bit raggedy. Let's have a. So yeah. Anyway, well, let's talk about the one I wanted to talk about. Now it was in the Express. It was after Vincent Kompany's testimonial back in September last year, and look, we had that testimonial. You know, about 52. Yeah, I don't know. I only saw it from a chest upwards, so I haven't seen that jumper. I think he put that up for charity. I think he did an auction for charity for that jumper. Like, what do you call it? It's a cardi coat. I don't know. Mixed between a jumper and a coat. But yeah, so you had the testimonial game for Vincent Kompany. About 52,000 people were there. I was there with my kids, and we all had a great time. But right at the end, there was a report. It went out in the Express. I think it was online. Well, Chris, I don't think he was that fat in his playing career. But anyway, so this is a story. So the Express ran an article online, at least, which they took down. I think they took down once they realised what they'd done, or people had complained or whatever. And it said that Man City fans had booed James Milner at that game. So Vincent Kompany's testimonial and the Express said Man City fans booed Jimmy Milner at that game. There's only one slight mistake with that article. All right, there's only one slight mistake with that article in the Express online. Jimmy Milner didn't even play in that game. He did not play in that game. He did not play in Vincent Kompany's testimonial. So how could City fans boo the guy if he didn't even play? And what had happened, and we knew this at the time because it came out bang, you know, as soon as that game was either finishing or almost finishing, that story came online. And what they'd done, they'd pre-written the story. So they'd written the story already. They got the story ready to go. And they popped it out a couple of minutes before the end of the game, I think. A false, made-up story. Look, I understand papers. You pre-write stuff sometimes. You know, on obituaries, for instance, a lot of people have got their obituaries for so and so ready, so that all they have to do is change a little bit and stick it out. They've got the stuff done. I've done it before on players. I did it on a player last summer. I did it on Rodri. On Rodri, when I knew Rodri was coming, I did my video. I knew he was coming, and I remember this. I did a video because I knew he was coming. Maybe I did the same with Cancelo, but Rodri, I do remember. I did that video 2 or 3 days or something before he signed, because I knew he was coming, and I actually made a mistake in that video, which thankfully no one picked me up on. But the Spanish manager at the time was Garcia, and actually he stepped down because his daughter had passed away. I think she was 9 years old, and he stepped down from the top job in Spain. And I referred to him as the Spanish manager because he was at the time. But I think he stepped down the day after I did the video, or the day I did the video. But I still let it run because I knew. Oh, notice. So, but the point is, Cobby, was that the Garcia one? Hey, Cobby, nice to have you on board, mate. Nice to have you on board. I don't remember. I thought I left it there. Maybe I took it down and re-edited it. I don't remember. Maybe I put it out, but I think I put it out too early, Cobby. I put it out before he signed. Maybe that's why I took it down. But I'm trying to remember now, almost a year ago. But so the Express, I understand why they do it. You do a story, you get it ready. So they got it ready, but they made up a false story because they were expecting the City fans to boo Jimmy Milner. So they put that story out there, okay? And then they took it down once, as I said, It definitely was the Rodri one. I remember that because about Garcia. And the thing is, so the Express put this story out there, put it online. It was a made-up, false story. There was not an ounce of truth because James Milner did not even play. Now, it may be if Jimmy Milner had played in that game, he'd have been booed. And a few fans said they would have booed him. But you're right, Chris, it sums newspapers up. They totally made up that story, stuck it out there. So we're talking October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May. We're talking 8 months. More than 8 months later, they've issued an apology. And they were told to do that. It's not an apology. I don't believe that they did themselves. They had to issue, not an apology, actually. They issued a correction. They said that story went out in error. Sorry, it was a made-up story. It's not, sometimes, I'm writing a story or writing a tweet and I press send before I finished it. Well, that tweet went out in error. Okay? You can't make up a story and then say it went out in error. You made it up. You lied. Okay, and you put that story out. And today, they've put that correction, and that's all they had to do was a correction. I did look at the actual. Let me look at the wording then to see if there's. I don't think there's anything. There was anything significant in the wording, but. The point was that they just made this up, and the thing is, it's taken how long? It's taken so long for this correction to come out. It's something that should have been done immediately. Yeah. But people hide because 8 months down the line, no one's really interested, and because it's on a correction page, no one's interested. No one's gonna look it up, really. I can't repeat some of the stuff that City fans have said about this because we're a clean channel. It was the Express copy. I don't know exactly who from the Express. I think it's just a kid. Anyway, here's the correction. Man City, it was on the 19th of September. Correction, Man City fans boo James Milner. So this is what the Express have said. Give me a sec. But for my page to catch up. In an article headlined, "Why are Man City fans booing Liverpool star James Milner in Vincent Kompany testimonial," published on September the 11th, 2019, we reported that James Milner was booed by Manchester City supporters when he touched the ball during the Vincent Kompany testimonial. Okay. In fact, the article had been written before the game took place and was published in error. James Milner did not play in this match and was therefore not booed. The wording had been published following an upheld ruling by the Independent Press Standards Organisation. IPSO have advised that this only needs to be published on the correction page. An apology should have come out. They made this story up. Yeah, and actually, it kind of makes you feel, even if Jimmy Milner had come on and wasn't booed, if he'd been cheered, they'd have still put this story out because this is clickbait. This is clickbait journalism, and this is the standard what we're going to do. Oh, they do all sorts. All sorts of stuff goes on, and it just shows that they're looking for stories. They're looking for clickbait. So they put this out, hoping that fans from other clubs come on and pile on to City fans. Give City fans some stick because it's not a nice thing to do in a testimonial and all that, and they don't understand the backstory. And then City fans have to come and defend themselves, and the Express gets thousands and thousands of hits, and they can go to their advertisers and say, "Look, and that's what it's all about." The more you click on these websites, the more they can say, "This is the number of clicks we're getting. Pay us some more advertising." That's it. It's a load of rubbish. They pre-wrote a negative story. Absolutely copy. They pre-wrote a fabricated negative story, hoping to stick it out and get this, and get everybody piling in. And then we see it happening time and time again. Well, they'll write something like, why are City fans booing UEFA, and without looking at the backstory, and then City fans have to come and defend themselves. I've done it. I've done it on radio. I've done it on national radio where I've had to defend City fans for the booing of the national anthem. Not the national anthem, sorry, the UEFA anthem. So I've had to go and do it because the people on the radio don't give the backstory. And I say, you've got to give that backstory. You've got to, it's not because of FFP. FFP is one element. We were doing it before. It's, without going into all ground, it's that cancelled game in Russia. That's the reason. So, and then there's the races and more than the clubs. City get punished for being 1 minute late out at half time. Galatasaray get punished more for having a cat on the pitch than clubs do for racist abuse of players. Absolutely disgusting. But that's the way UEFA roll. That's the way they roll. So you have to correct, and it's wrong. But the whole point is they kick up a storm, they kick up a fuss out of nothing to get people, heated up, and then it is there. It's like you set it up for the volley, you set it up, and the opposition fans come in, lane into City and City fans, and then City fans have to come and defend themselves. And the newspaper or the website has got what it wanted. It's got that clickbait. It's worked. And advertisers see, yes, you've got this many click-throughs. That's what it is. Hi, LFC boy. Hope you well, mate. UEFA made Leicester redo whole dressing room when we were... It's all sorts of things they make you do. Well, Chris Welch, I don't remember. There were stories of certain people going to be there, and then they never turned up. I remember going to a game a couple of seasons back. 2018 it was. Oh, 2018? Yeah, 2018. And it was City legends versus Wigan legends. And I'd gone to that game. There were two games on the same day, lots of old City legends. And there were some older legends that was taking place in Radcliffe, not far from Bury, near Manchester. And the other game, the City legends versus Wigan legends, was taking place in Ashton in Makerfield. Anyway, so I went to that game because Georgie Kinkladze was supposed to be playing, and because I wanted to see Kinkladze, that's why I chose that game over the other one. Now, if I knew Kinkladze wasn't playing, I'd have gone to watch the one with Peter Barnes. That was my growing up. And Peter Barnes was my hero when I was a kid. So I'd have gone to that. But for Kinkladze, I went. And Kinkladze, he weren't there. So we were, hoodwinked, let's say. Because we obviously we went for watching Kinkladze. And they knew we weren't coming. They didn't tell us. We only found out, I think, once the game had started, that he weren't coming. Danny, I think awkward is the polite way of putting it. LCFC Boyer, love being in the Champions League. Don't get me wrong, but a lot of unnecessary. Yeah, absolutely. You have to care about themselves. That's it. Look, UEFA are only bothered about money and power. They're not bothered about football per se. They're not bothered about the clubs or anything. They're bothered about money and power. Because anybody who's linked with UEFA, they're on a gravy train. They're getting to go watch top level football. They're getting first class this, first class that, first class flights, first class hotels, going to games that, if they had nothing to do with UEFA, they wouldn't be going to, and getting, wined and dined and everything else, meeting people that they wouldn't get a chance to meet. So it's there for the power that they get, and for all the frills that go along with it. But that's where UEFA goes. So yeah, don't believe what everything you read in the papers. There's a lot of stuff going on. It's not worth believing. And I think that's about it for today. I think that's about it. 24 minutes. I had thought 10 minutes, and we're right on to 24. That's it. You've had Platini in trouble. You've had Blatter in trouble. You've had quite a few others in trouble. A lot to do with FIFA, and you're finding out more and more about UEFA. Well, LCFC boy, even if it is football people, they have to follow the tune that's set for them. So you might get football people involved. I mean, you could argue Karl-Heinz Rummenigge is a football person. I'm not sure he does all the right things for football. He'll do what's best for his club and himself. But some of them do, Danny. I think some of them do know about football, but they're looking after their own interest. They're not looking after the general interest of football and everybody in the football family. And I understand some of it, that yes, you're always looking out for your own club, but I think it just goes it goes too far. It goes way too far. But hey, we're not far away from that. We're talking about 2 weeks, just over 2 weeks, until the 8th of June. Talking what, 19 days, 2.5 weeks before that Court of Arbitration for Sport hearing. So I think that's kind of going to keep us interested for the next 2.5 weeks, especially. And obviously, you can have the hearing, and I don't think you're going to get a result. You're going to get an answer straight away. Who knows? I mean, maybe 10th of June we get told something. Maybe it comes out a week or two later. Gary Lineker should be head of UEFA. So Gary Lineker, you're still worried that maybe he'll favour Barcelona and Everton and Leicester City. So Gary Lineker, I remember, he played for Leicester. Did he play for Spurs as well? Definitely played for Everton, Barcelona, and Grand Passy in Japan. UEFA, FIFA only care about their competitions and their money. That's it. They're not bothered about you and me as football fans. They're not bothered about clubs or country. They're not bothered about football at all. They're bothered simply about money and power. Guys, I'm going to have to shoot because it's 9 o'clock. I've got a few things to do. Thank you ever so much for joining and getting involved tonight. And I'll see you tomorrow. And everybody have a very, very safe evening, and see you later. Cheers, guys.